Today I'm going to discuss with you something that keeps coming up time and time again, and that is, why can't I leave? Why is it so hard for me to go? I know this, I understand it at a conscious level, I get it, but I can't leave. And it doesn't matter how hard I try, and as soon as I get the courage to leave, he sweet talks me, we're back in again. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Natasha Williams, and I'm a toxic relationship expert and a personal development coach. So why is it so hard to leave? And I get it. I was in a relationship like that, and I had made a commitment to myself that I'm going to make it work. And I couldn't see it for what it was. I couldn't see it objectively because I was in it. I was in the game. And it's almost like watching a movie where you're so enthralled that you actually become part of it. You know, when children watch something, they actually think it's really, really happening. Your body, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and fiction. And so you're totally enmeshed in it. You can't see the wood for the trees because you're so far inside and you're questioning yourself. Now, with all the things that we know about trauma bonding, gaslighting, word salad, the way that they are trying to confuse you, reel you in, push you away, it confuses you, and you start to think there's something wrong with you somehow. Maybe if I worked harder, maybe if I did speak in this way, maybe I needed to use those words, maybe I need to dress up, lose weight, whatever the thing is. And they always make out that there's some light at the end of a tunnel. There might be hope, there's maybe hope. And every time you try and do something, it kind of lands up falling back in your face. The thing is, it's such hard work. And now I'm going to give you another take on this. It's hard to leave because it's familiar. It's hard to leave because it's the known. It's what you know. And I always say, and I hear it from a lot of people, and I said the same thing, you know, to me the narcissist is like Lucifer. And Lucifer is a very good looking man. You don't just fall under his spell because he's ugly. You fall under his charm. You fall under his promises. And then slowly but surely they start falling away. All that charm starts falling away, and you keep trying to get back that charm. But the thing is, it's not, it's the saying goes, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And so you think, if I stay with this person, I've gotten to know him so well, I don't have to go through all that again. I don't want to go through all of that again. I've been there. And chances are this isn't your first narcissistic relationship. And I've had clients that said to me, I've never had abusive parents. I don't know where this came from. I'm going to tell you, you did never attract a narcissist by accident. You didn't ask for them. But you are like a deer in the headlights. You are a target for them. So some people are lucky, some empaths are lucky, and they never get to meet a narcissist in a lifetime, and they manage to get away. And others are not so lucky because you are prey for them. They are predators looking for people like you. And there are lots of empaths around. There are lots of willing empaths around that are available to be used and abused, because people always believe in the best of others. They believe that human nature is always wanting to be giving. But that is only if you're human. And if you know me by now, you'll know that I don't consider narcissists to be human. They are AI. They are humanoid. They look human. They walk among us, but they are not human. When you get that, when you finally get that, you'll stop wasting your time and effort on trying to turn something that's humanoid into human, because it cannot be done. If you've ever watched Stepford Wives, you will understand. You can dress them up, you can make them look and speak and do whatever they need to do in order to fit in society. But they are not human. They cannot feel. They're lacking it. So back to the question of why can't I leave? It's because of your program. If your subconscious mind feels comfortable and familiar in an environment where you are not being treated well, then it's going to keep you there. No matter how strong your willpower is, no matter how strong your conscious mind is, it's going to keep you stuck there. And you can do affirmations. You can stand in the mirror and say, I deserve more. but your conscious mind or your willpower is only 5 to 10% of your brain. Your subconscious mind is 90 to 95% of your brain. So if you're going to stand in front of the mirror and say, I deserve better, but underneath you feel like you don't, like you're never going to find love, you're never going to be loved, you're never going to be adored the way you've got this deep, deep need to be, it's because there's a part of you that's completely not feeling it at all. And so that is going to win over and over again. So the only way you're going to get out of it is to start reprogramming yourself, is to start healing those deep wounds. And those wounds started in childhood. They did not start now. They started before your conscious mind was even developed. They could have started the moment of conception. They could have started in the womb. It started before the age of 4 or 5, guaranteed. And maybe you didn't have a narcissistic caregiver. Maybe you had a narcissistic sibling or a narcissistic school teacher, or you were bullied. And then the minute that first incident happened, you now carry a neon sign around you that says, please pick on me. And so every time something that reminds you of that event happens, you have a please pick on me sign, and so people are picking up on it and they're acting it out. And if you can go back to the original trauma, if you can go back to the original event and heal it there and stop it there, you'll stop the waves from keeping on coming over and over again, just repeating the same old cycle. So understand what's happening in your life right now is not independent of other things. It's a trigger for something that happened in the past. And when you deal with it in the now, what's happening is you are not dealing with the underlying problem. So let me give you an example. Let's say you've got a husband or a partner who verbally abuses you all the time. And so you keep responding outwardly to the current verbal abuse. But maybe in your childhood you were verbally abused. This person is not going to stop because you keep retaliating, you keep reacting to the verbal abuse, but you haven't dealt with the trigger that's causing them to verbally abuse you. It's coming from within, it's not coming from without. So when you change that trigger within you, you stop attracting that to you. It's almost like looking in a mirror, and when you are projecting peace into the mirror and you look at yourself, you're going to see peace. But when you are experiencing anger and you're projecting anger out, you're going to see an angry face. And that's what everybody else is picking up on. So it's not coming from outside, it's coming from inside. And people that are beaten down, I even saw a lady today walking in a not so good area of town, and she had her shoulders slumped over. She looked like she has been through the wars, and her body is carrying it. People will pick on her left, right, and center because she's already physically even become that way. She even looks like the person that says, please beat me down, please beat me up, I'm not worthy. And when she starts changing that, she'll change her physiology and she'll change her mind, and then she will start changing and attracting different things. But here's the thing, it's scary. People don't want to go out there. They'd rather be stuck. They'd rather know that this is how it's always going to be. And here's the actual real scary part. This is what I think is more scary. Is this person that you're with is not happy to keep things the way they are. You think this is how bad it's going to be. This is as bad as it can be. How bad can it get? Well, it's going to get to a point where they've drained you dry. So if you've still got 20% left of life force in you, there will be now no more life force in you. So you have a choice to make. You are at a crossroads. Do you want to choose life or death? And that's something that's bigger than you. It's outside of you. And whenever you choose life, it means you're expanding. And whenever you're expanding, there's the unknown. You don't know what's out there. You don't know what's going to be on the other side of the fence. You don't know what's going to be on the other side of the door. But you do know what's here. And what's here means it's going to contract. It's going to get smaller. Your life is going to get more miserable. Your life is going to feel less joyful by the moment. So you have a choice. Do I want to live and experience life, or do I want to experience dying? So you're either in the process of living or dying. And right now you're in your comfort zone and it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable comfort zone. And why you can't leave is because you start looking at all the little things that you need to do, all those small things, because of the fear. How am I going to get work? Where am I going to stay? Who's going to look after the kids? I'm going to tell you that if you stop focusing on the detail and focus on the bigger picture, you'll get out. If you don't worry, the detail will come. The detail will take care of itself. You got yourself as an adult to where you are in your life right now. You got yourself into a point where you're able to take care of yourself. In fact, you're taking care of yourself and an adult who's actually a grown child. He's a child in a body, he's a 5-year-old in a man's body. And you're going to try and drag that along with you everywhere you go. If anything, your life is going to become easier. It's not going to become harder. It's going to become easier. And people are going to say, oh, but can you vouch for it? I'm going to tell you, I've never heard somebody say, I wish I'd stayed longer. Never. They all say, I wish I'd left sooner. When I left my husband, I slept like a baby. I was single for 3 years. I didn't want a man to look at me, talk to me, come near me. I wasn't interested. Yes, I hated men. I didn't trust men. I was done with men. I decided I'm never going to be with another man in my life again. But I needed to find me, and it took me 3 years. And I gave myself all the time that I needed. I didn't need more. 3 years was what I needed. For some people, it's 6 months. For some people, it's 50 years. Who knows? But this is your time. It's your time to decide, what do you want to do for your life? Do you want to be giving your life to somebody else who's just going to keep siphoning it dry? Or do you want to do something else? Because the worst thing that could happen right now is you could die, literally. At a soul level, you could actually, they could drain your life force energy and you could take yourself out, or you could just become a doormat. And either one is not looking good. So already you have worst case scenario. So what is worse than that? So going out there and dying on that side, I would rather die being a free person than being a slave. And those are my choices. And at the end of the day, it's a choice you need to make. But if you've got children, and you are training your children to become a doormat, then what chance are you giving to society? What chance are you giving to your children to keep furthering it? It's not about fighting the narcissist and letting them see your point of view, because they are not interested. They're never going to see it. They don't want to see it. They don't care about it. And it doesn't serve them. It doesn't serve them at all. You need to serve them. So you are their food. When you realize that, you want to stop being somebody else's food, and all you have to worry about is taking care of yourself, not fighting them off you. You will breathe. You will sleep better, I promise you. And maybe you've got some guy who's threatened you. You're going to have to be careful. I always say, knowledge is power. Learn, read. Read whatever you can. Watch whatever videos you can. And learn what the potential outcome is and plan it. If you got yourself in a situation, plan your escape. It took me a long time to plan mine. And it wasn't always easy. But I am grateful for every moment that I went through it, because my life is turned around 360. I've never been happier. I'm surrounded by positive, amazing people. I have an amazing partner, and I am just, if I could just share the amount of strength that I feel, the amount of empowerment that I feel, and yes, sometimes it does come back to bite you, but it's so little. It's so little. I'm happy 95% of the day. It's so little that it's not even worth worrying about. It's not even worth counting. But I'm creating my life rather than being at the mercy of somebody else's life. And even if I had nothing, it wouldn't bother me, because there's nothing but freedom in owning nothing. So it's not even about the money. It's just about having your life. And once you've had nothing, there's nothing to lose. There's only to gain. And you can go anywhere. You're not bound. You're not bound by a mortgage. You're not bound by vehicles or whatever it is. You can go anywhere you like. So I hope this helps you, and understand that you need to get yourself unstuck, because you need to make a decision. That's all you need to do, is decide. And I don't know what the trigger is going to be for you. And I've asked people, and for some people it's different than others. For some, it's because they found out the guy was cheating. For others, it's because they found out he's a pedophile. For me, I actually saw our future. I did a future life progression, and I realized that in 10 years from now, he's going to come home with somebody else and want to switch me out. And I realized I would have wasted 10 years of my life. And I just needed to see that. So whatever it is for you, decide what that could be. What is it? Does he have to become a drug addict, or what is it? Somewhere there will be a line that gets crossed. What are you prepared to tolerate? And when he crosses that line, there's no going back. And maybe you're just waiting for that line. But I say, why wait? Well, why even wait? Why wait for things to get so bad? You know, and really give it some thought. Give it some thought and just look at it objectively and say, is this the life that I chose for myself? Is this the life that I chose for my children? Is this the legacy that I want to leave behind? And if it's not, then you better make a decision. I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, please forward them to me. I will reply to all your comments. I look forward to hearing from you, and you have an amazing day.